Alright guys, we're off to the races here in our quarterfinal feature match. We got a stream first timer here. Not sure if it's his first top 8 or not, but it's definitely his first time playing on camera. That's Dylan Sturgeon. He's on the left. He's playing an interesting mono black devotion deck, which I think is morphed slightly from the traditional mono black deck. He is playing Master of Feasts, so that will be interesting to see. So maybe verging a little bit on the aggro side. He's loading up a turn 1 Thoughtseize. His opponent is Brandon Gibbs, who's playing the same black-white mid-range deck that he's piloted to great success over the last few months. Not sure exactly what he's changed in his deck with the addition of Journey cards, but we see a hand. I couldn't see all of it, but it had 3 lands and a Bioblight in it. Sin Collector is the choice off of the Thoughtseize, and Brandon just plays a Godless Shrine tapped. And then Dylan with the turn 2 Pack Rat's going to meet a Bioblight here. So Dylan with the initiative here, he's on the play. He lands a turn 3 Underworld Connections. And then Brandon with a Lifebane Zombie. It's not going to hit anything, but it is going to reveal some information. Underworld Connections, Hero's Downfall, and a Doomblade. That Doomblade is mostly dead, can only kill Mutavault at this point. But Dylan does have that Underworld Connections online, so he is going to be able to dig for some more business here. So Dylan not drawing a card here, would rather go ahead and get another Underworld Connections down, so and then with Dylan tapped out, Brandon feels safe loading up that Mutavault. He knows that Doomblade is going to have to play around, but without the mana to cast, he's going to go ahead and find a spot to slot in an extra 2 damage here, dropping Dylan down to 13. Dylan's going to go ahead and start using his connections. He does find a land. So there's a Bioblight's going to take out the Lifebane Zombie. Probably a little bit probably mechanically some things we can improve here about this turn. No need to cast that Bioblight at that spot in case Brandon casts another one during his turn. Seems unlikely, but still something we could tighten up here. Desecration Demon followed by a Temple, leaving the card on top. So Brandon in a pretty good spot here. As Dylan untaps. Going to Hero's Downfall the Demon. We knew about that from the previous Lifebane Zombie. Dylan going to cast a Thoughtseize here, dropping down to 9, revealing a hand of Plains, Swamp. So Brandon with no business here. Let's see what he draws off the top. He's going to serve in with the Mutavault, dropping Dylan to 7. Then just passes back, it looks like. Now plays a land and passes back there. Dylan jumping ahead a little bit. But Dylan's going to need to find something to put on the board here. He's drawn a lot of cards, but he's got nothing to show for it. His opponent likely just has a handful of lands, but the cards off the top of Brandon's deck are very powerful. Blood Barons, Obsidats, and the like. Dylan going all the way down to 5 here. Just passes back, does not find another land. Does not find a Pack Rat or anything he can cast for the 2 mana he has available. Apologies for those of you watching live. For some reason, my chat has stopped working, so unable to interact with you guys. We'll continue to work on that as we continue to watch this game. There's the Mutavault serving in, forcing Dylan's hand with the Doomblade that we knew about. There's the aforementioned Master of Feast. We'll go ahead and bring it up on a card viewer. New card from Journey. Master of the Feast, I apologize, not Master of Feast. 5/5 flyer for 3 at the beginning of your upkeep. Each opponent draws a card, so a reverse blood gift demon, if you will. So Brandon draws a card during Dylan's upkeep. But Dylan has at least found a thread at this point. A lot of speculation around Master of Feast when it came out as to how good it would be. Oh, there's a strong card at this point. Whip of Erebos. Looks like Brandon's going to be able to kill that Master, but if not, he was going to start getting out of reach here. There's a Hero's Downfall. With 4 damage, so we'll keep Dylan at 5 life. That Master's likely coming back next turn off the whip. And there's a Desecration Demon. So we'll see if Dylan can come up with another Hero's Downfall. Draws off the top. Is that a Devour Flesh in Dylan's hand? That'd be pretty good at this spot, especially now that he's dealt with Brandon's Mutavault. Maybe misreading his hand there. It seems like he's tapping 2 for a removal spell. Devour Flesh is the only one I can think of that really works in this spot. There's a Master of Feast. I'm going to draw a card off of Underworld Connections, getting very aggressive here, as we are now wholesale dead to a removal spell. There's a Thoughtseize from Brandon. So the removal spell did not come off the top. Brandon serves in here. And Brandon's going to go ahead and use a Bile Blight just to keep Dylan from gaining too much life there. And then plays a second copy of Desecration Demon. So both demons are lethal. Dylan's going to need to find an answer for both of them. Consecutive Bile Blights would be pretty good. We already know he used one of them. Seems very unlikely that would be the case, but that would definitely be highlight of the week material. So here's 4 mana 4. Ultimate Price and Devour Flesh. So that will work as well. Brand's going to go up to 26 here, but that's irrelevant compared to the alternative of just losing the game. So Brandon's going to start his turn off with a Temple of Silence. Going to shove a card to the bottom. At this point, likely shoving all lands, probably redundant copies of Thoughtseize. And here is the reveal. Temple of Malice. Grey Merchant hits the bin. Looks like another Devour Flesh. Could not make out the other cards. That Grey Merchant would have been for 8 at this point. A massive life swing. But Dylan has never found a 5th Mana Source. So Dylan's scrying with his Temple of Malice. Why he didn't play that last turn is beyond me. Seems like he had to have had that in his... He's going to whip back a Grey Merchant. It's going to be an 8-point life swing. Put Dylan up to 14. Put Brandon down to 16. Go ahead and serve in for 14 there. Looks like Dylan missed his life gain trigger from his whip, but still pretty strong. One whip activation and all things are equal here. Brandon, despite his Scrylands, Top of his deck still not being very friendly to him. Dylan fights back with a Scryland of his own. He leaves that card on top, which can't be a great feeling for Brandon. 5 mana, is this another Gray Merchant? It is another Gray Merchant. For another 8-point life swing. Dylan now up to 22, and Brandon down to 6. And Brandon has seen enough, so out of nowhere, 2 Gray Merchants, 1 off a whip, and Dylan steals game 1, so these guys move to the sideboards. So Dylan finds 6 cards that he can live with. Brandon on the play here. He's down a game. He had what seemed like control over game 1, but a whip of Erebos turned things around. Eventually Dylan finding a couple of Gray Merchants and stealing the win as Brandon flooded out towards the end. So Brandon resolving a turn 2 Thoughtseize, revealing Swamp, Hero's Downfall, Gray Merchant. A Pack Rat is what hits the bin here. Could not make out the rest of the cards as they went pretty quickly through that process. Brandon deciding relatively easily that the Pack Rat is the card that would beat him. So a Temple of Malice leaving the card on top, and Dylan just passes the turn back here. Looks like Brandon's gone to the sideboard and found an Athreos. And that's what he plays on turn 3. So we see another God from Journey in the next make an appearance. We'll see how it affects this game. Gives the deck a little bit of reach. Can very easily be turned on in this deck with all the Underworld connections and Pack Rats. Mutavault loaded up, just serving in. That's interesting because it looks like the Mutavault interacts very profitably with the Athreos. As when it dies, it should get returned to should still trigger Athreos and should still go to his hand unless Dylan plays 3 life. 4 mana for a Desecration Demon. Now Brandon will have to decide what he wants to do. He draws the connections off the top. Can't serve in with their Mutavault this turn. Might as well put a connections on a Swamp. Brandon just passes back here. Interesting. Dylan going to set up his turn with another Temple Scry. Leaves the card on top again, so this draw working out pretty well for him. Passing back usually representing a removal spell here. It is in fact Hero's Downfall. That's going to take care of the Desecration Demon. Let's see what Dylan has as a follow-up. Nothing, just passes back, so I guess a handful of reactive cards for Dylan here. Or a bunch of 5-drops. So here comes a Thoughtseize. No, this one is a sideboarded Duress, so let's see what Dylan has. Bileblight, Hero's Downfall. What card was that? Dark Betrayal hits the bin, leaving Gray Merchant, Bileblight, and Hero's Downfall in hand. Here comes a Gray Merchant just for 2. But gotta get a presence on board here. Knocks Brandon down to 16, Dylan back up to his starting life total of 20. But this one's slipping away from Dylan here. Does not have the Underworld connections he had in game 1 to help him dig for additional action. Brandon does have Underworld connections online, does have Athreos online, has a Mutavault, has a fist full of cards. So Brandon draws a card here, follows it up with an Orzhov Guildgate, and just passes the turn back. Not sure if he just can't attack in with the Mutavault or he has another removal spell here. There is a Pack Rat. We do have enough mana open that we can play the Pack Rat and activate it in response to a removal spell here, so Dylan possibly pulling away. So Brandon end of turn is going to Hero's Downfall. Let's see if Dylan activates in response here. He is going to activate in response. Pitches a Bile Blight. Bile Blight interesting in this matchup because I'm pretty sure
I'm just going to make sure because of the wood.
Alright. Hey, did you win, Nick?
No, I lost.
Who did you play?
Adam Vickers.
The local legend Adam Vickers?
I didn't even know I was on the top 8.
Are these the last two guys playing?
No.
Oh, okay. There's just a lot of people watching. Alright, so Athreos is online here. Obsidat is very good at turning Athreos on, it looks like. So he serves in. He's a 5/4 indestructible. Dylan is obliged to just take 5 here, I would think. Dropping down to 13. But that Obsidat's going to do some work. We know Dylan has a Hero's Downfall in his hand. But he's going to have to fade this turn and do it during Brandon's turn when Obsidat comes back in, which means unless he finds a 6th land, he's not going to be able to activate that Pack Rat, and it's going to be susceptible to a removal spell.
Beta Merchant.
What happened? Grey Merchant?
Beta Merchant, yeah.
Well, Grey Merchant's won in the first game. We're going to serve in with the active Grey Merchant here.
Well, we just played.
Well,
Yeah, no.
we're not that bad. So we're going to let that Obsidat come back in here.
I wonder if he realizes, or anyone out there realizes that he's actually 16.
You can go let him know if it...
He's at 16. 16.
He was at 18 after the life gain and then went down 2 off the Obsidat, right?
He hit the button twice, but he gained the life back.
Hmm. So I'm starting to lose steam, so I apologize for that. So Brandon's best play here is to somehow deal with that. If he can deal with the Grey Merchant, he can attack in for 10 here, right?
Wouldn't do it.
No. He also, this is also his opportunity to deal with that Pack Rat permanently.
Yeah.
So he,
You just block you unless you have, like, another Grey Merchant in hand.
yes, I would agree with that. I mean, there's an argument to be said for, I mean, with Brandon at 10, there's an argument to be said for just taking it. Because Brandon's not a Grey Merchant deck, right?
No.
He does block and he does take 5, so down to 11 here. See if Brandon has a follow-up. Obsidat and Athreos are pretty pretty good tag team there.
It's only one card now.
Who, Gibbs?
Yeah.
I think there's more than one in that pile. Maybe a couple.
Two.
Hmm?
We lost 4 people.
Since you came in, we lost 4 people?
Yeah.
Well, I can't blame him, can you? So Brandon just passes the turn back here.
He missed the trigger.
He did miss the trigger. Too late to go back. So we're gonna discard to the pack rat. Serve in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That can't be good, right?
It's just...
You kill the... He has a Hero's Downfall in his hand, right?
Yeah, it's only 2 though. He just made the back row on his main phase.
Oh, yeah. So here's a Mutant Vault going to pick off a pack rat.
I think I'd be fine with this trade.
If you're the pack rat player?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if Brandon could have killed the pack rat, he would have done it last turn. So...
But I need to scale that up. I guess you can wait.
Oh yeah, because of the Athreos interaction, it triggers because a creature died, so Dylan can pay 3 life and kill it if he wants to, long term. But now he's dead on board, isn't he?
Oh, he has the downfall.
I think he does. I mean, I may be wrong. Yeah.
That's another 3 life.
Mm-hmm. But now he's dead to... No, he's not dead to an Athreos because we're a long way from turning that off, right? So he has to draw another Obsidat. There's a pack rat. Is that good enough? 1, 2... If he has another land...
He does have a land.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. If you play a land, make a pack rat...
Well, he only has 2 cards in hand.
No, he just needs 2 cards to pitch to it. Pack rat, another land, make 2 rats. That's exactly Devotion for Athreos. Attack in for the win.
I think he only has 2 cards in hand now, though.
History.
3.
Shock himself down to 6, make 2 rats, right?
He
That's 3 rats, 4,
lands.
5. Oh, I'm looking at the Underworld Connections as if it's a land. You're right. Well, my play would have worked, Nick, if he had that mana, but...
Oh, yeah, 9 people.
Well, they heard about my awesome... Yep. Hey, man!
What's up?
What's going on? Good to see you, my man.
Good to see you.
Of all the people I thought were going to walk through that door, I did not expect it to be Yin Sang.
Well, it's going to drop by sometime today.
You missed so many pancakes.
What?
You missed so many pancakes.
Longtime viewers of the stream will know that voice as one Yin Sang, who's returning from the sunny confines of Orange County, California, to the torrential downpour of Charleston, West Virginia.
Oh, sadly. But I am glad to be here. Leaving tomorrow, but...
When did you get in? Is it just like a super short trip?
Yeah, I got in last night at like 11. It's super short because it takes like 7 hours to get here from California.
Yeah.
5 hours on a plane, 2 hour layover. What? What is happening here?
I don't know. Yin showed up and I got distracted.
I screwed Brandon up too.
We made a pack rat token.
Dylan didn't tap his mana last turn.
Hmm?
Dylan didn't tap his mana last turn.
Yeah, this is his turn. He tapped it to cast the Hero's Downfall.
Did he have the Hero's Downfall?
But we're just dead here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We just make 2 pack rat tokens. We can do that now. And then attack in with Athreos for the win, right?
Man, cards that I don't know.
1, 2, 3. No. No, because he'll block the Athreos with the pack rat. Then the other pack rats are only... They can attack as only a 3/3. But you still do it anyway. Then Dylan rips Bowblight off the top. Looks like a genius.
The Blaze.
Huh?
The Blaze.
Does Bowblight affect everything with the same thing so it's symmetrical, right?
Yeah.
That's very fun.
Very sure. Yep.
Yep. all creatures of the same name.
So you don't play Magic down there? You're over there?
No, I could, but the big events are in LA, so I don't want to drive like an hour and a half to get to big events there.
Just come play States this weekend.
I'm flying back tomorrow. Back to work.
What time is your flight?
3 o'clock.
PM.
Yeah. AM. That would be fun if it was like 3 a.m. on Sunday. I could like go to more events tomorrow.
Cameron in the chat is saying that we should make you play Jund.
I could. I still probably know how to play Jund and Black-White.
And Joel says that you're a great player with the funny plushies. That is also correct. Those, of course, the pour rings.
Yes.
Did the pour rings make the trip?
The pourings are in the hotel room.
Well, I mean, as long as they made the trip.
Oh, yeah.
So, Dylan drops down to 3. I'm going to be honest, I've kind of lost track of this game. And I'm kind of concerned that if Brandon wins, we have to go to a third game.
Yeah.
Because this is getting kind of tedious here.
Merchant on top.
Mono Black versus Black-White.
Merchant off the top is lethal, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a Master of Feast.
That's really bad here. It's either really bad or really good.
I think every card that isn't Grey Merchant is really bad here, to be perfectly honest. Get there.
That seems wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, because now we're going to make a pack rat token and block with Athreus, right?
And then he's just dead. Not crackback.
Dead on the crackback, because every pack rat is lethal, and you can only block 2 of them. Come on, buddy. There's no reason to debate what we're pitching here. Just pitch any card. Like, why are we doing that? Why don't we just block with the...
It's active.
It doesn't make a difference really though, but you can kill him with that. You can kill the Athreus, right? Just attack with everybody, right? Oh, please do not think about this. He's empty-handed, right?
Yeah.
You just attack with all your dudes. He's at 3 life.
The only reason is if he doesn't know his gun is not good.
Yeah, that's a good point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Just keeps casting. Well, it's gotta be active now.
Yeah.
It's definitely active and stuff.
The
Yeah,
pack rat token, the only token in standard that counts towards devotion count. But Brandon surely knows this because this is a very common interaction. He's been playing pack rats for a long time.
Thanks, yeah.
I don't know. I like this Master of the Feast. When your curve goes turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 pack rat, turn 3 Master, turn 4 Desecration Demon. Like, the Master is just another Desecration Demon. Alright.
No, he was feeling like he played a Revoke Existence on the Master.
Can't watch Raw.
She
and
loves
the WWE
Roman Reigns. It's her favorite.
The WWE Network is not up to date on the Raws, which I hate. But I've been watching Legends House.
Yeah, that seems very funny.
Mean Gene's like gargantuan arm.
It's also going to be funny when I chop these up for YouTube when it just cuts from like the end of last match into me talking about how Legends House is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm already planning on growing the beard back towards the end of summer.
Yeah.
Halloween costume, Bray Wyatt.
There you go.
Holly's going to go as Roman Reigns because you know when they come out, they have the bandana around the face, so that's how she can pull off like an
Okay, yeah. No matter
ambiguous.
how much you look.
Yeah, because she is a woman. Turns
Yeah,
out
she
she's
is,
a woman, and Roman Reigns is a man. But they both have long brown hair, and she can wear boots and a vest and cargo pants like the best of them.
Well, there you go.
And ironically, she could be just as good a wrestler as Roman Reigns because all of his wrestling moves are hit someone and run into them hard.
Just kind of, I remember a long time ago somebody put John Cena as a Pokemon because all his moveset is the same.
Literally, Roman Reigns, like, you didn't watch Raw this week?
No, because I don't,
Yeah, well, I know, but, like, they had a triple threat match with the Wyatt family, and, like, whereas, like, all the Wyatts can wrestle, like, only really Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins can wrestle, so, like, Dean Ambrose was in the ring for, like, 75% of the match, and then at the end, they tag in Roman Reigns, he just comes in and hits people 5 times, does a spear, and I'm just like, all of his moves are just, like, the things I would do
like
if I was in a fight.
He's a new Goldberg.
I would just try to punch people and run into them hard.
I think, like, all I'm using WWE Network now is for, like, the old Raws and, Legends house. Maybe he's watching your stream and he can give you some swag.
Who, Roman Reigns?
Yeah, you don't know.
I don't dislike him, but I'm not a fan.
Well,
I'm a
he's
huge.
not going to give you that free swag now.
I'm a huge mark for the Wyatt family, though. Big time.
That thing that they're doing with Cena is kind of cool. I need to watch Extreme Rules.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I did like the Wii TLC.
That's horrible. It's not that I don't like the fact that little person wrestling exists. It's just that you would think that the WWF could at least get a little person wrestler who was good at wrestling, because the Hornswoggle is not.
No.
Now the little bull guy is really good.
Yeah, he is.
But you need somebody else to be comparably good.
Well, there's is he the? Because I know there's another little luchador, but I can't remember his name. But I don't know if he is
Double master of the feast draw here.
the one now.
What's funny here is that it seems like we're just ignoring the match so we can talk about wrestling, but if it wasn't wrestling, I'd be talking about anything else, because I'm just trying to ignore this match.
Ooh.
This is brutal. Game 2 was so brutal.
Just
I don't
all sorts
know,
of hand destruction here.
There was multiple times where it was obvious Brandon didn't realize that his Athreos was online.
Yeah, and I was like, it made me cringe when he discarded the Devourer Flesh, because if Dylan would have played a
Grey Merchant, he was dead.
Instantly dead.
Yeah, he was dead off the top to a Grey Merchant.
Yeah, but if he would have kept the Devourer Flesh, he could have been pretty good.
Well,
Yeah.
Dylan has been stuck on 2 lands since the dawn of time. He does find a Pack Rat, which he can cast, but that, of course, is met immediately with the Devour Flesh, which shouldn't be totally unexpected since Gibbs has not done anything proactive and has 1,000,000 cards in his hands.
Kind of unexpected. He had 2 lands at one point.
There's a YouTube link that's relevant to this conversation from Quasi, but I can't click on it while broadcasting.
Tap with Mute Ball, pass.
Well, life is going down.
That's a good direction. I don't care whose life total it is.
Which, I don't think that Garrett's and Scotty's match is going any better.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, Jonathan, right?
Jonathan, whatever.
I didn't correct.
I was like, I didn't see Scotty.
I didn't correct him because a lot of people call them the wrong names on purpose
No, I get it.
to
But
I don't
troll.
know. For the longest time, because I met you and Matt together,
Mhm.
I almost called you Matt and him Zach.
But he's not cool enough to be Zach.
No, he's not.
Dr. Zach doesn't work very good. It's Dr. Matt. He texted me out of the blue a couple weekends ago. Just said, had the day off, so playing in this pre-release. Hope it goes well. Then there was another one where it was like, opened up these like pretty good cards,
Yeah.
and then like later in the afternoon, like went 5-0, got some pretty good packs. It's like, of course you did, because you're a freaking ringer. He's good at limited.
And everybody there was probably like, who is this guy?
He's like, I'm Dr. Matt, son. I came from Charleston to wreck your
The only way that he would have won
world.
if he would have said, there is no way I can come back from this.
The Streggy?
What you gotta do?
That's what I should do it. in,
My
like,
favorite thing
LA
about
or
Dr.
something.
Matt was
Just
always
show up.
the...
It's like, hey.
Just show up to like some big event in LA.
my favorite was the Dr. Matt. My favorite thing about playing Magic with Dr. Matt is that he would always, like, you would do something, like, you would cast a spell or do something that was like, it was good for you, and he would always just go, okay, fine, like,
That's fine, if you
whatever.
want to do that. Yeah, well,
He would say whatever, which is basically like his way of like being upset that something good had happened to you and bad to him. But he wouldn't say it directly. But he would say like, okay, fine.
whatever. And he'd like get like real upset about
Like I always give him the benefit of the doubt because I know it's like he just can't. He's very competitive, so he
Yeah.
can't separate it. But I also couldn't beat that man drafting my own cube if you paid me to do it.
I know what did beat him.
I never
ate
lost to
the
him.
Country Boy at Dwight's. That beat us both.
So I'm up.
That beat us both because it was like we went and ate there after like we went to a bar to see friends of my band, and then me and Matt and my buddies went to Dwight's and ate, and there was a tournament on Saturday at like Rick's old shop, and we just like were like, Farm Boy got us.
This is an interesting question. We'll talk about magic briefly here, as we are wont to do. Who is that? Think Tank lol in the chat gets a +1 for his name. But he does have an interesting question here. Does the risk of a good card drawn by More Connections getting Thoughtseize or Duress always outweigh the upside of being able to cast it that turn? I would think actually the opposite would probably be the case, where the ability to draw a card and then possibly cast it is usually outweighing the potential to draw a blank that your opponent can then Thoughtseize or Duress, because the Thoughtseize or Duress usually comes in way before Underworld Connection starts being online, to the point where you could cast it, then draw a card, and have enough mana left over to cast what you draw. I think you'd almost always want to...
Because there's no point in waiting the Thoughtseize or Duress in this match.
No. So Devour Flask takes out the Demon. That does put Dylan up to 21, though. Server with a couple Mute Vaults, get you back down to 17.
Ooh.
Did they have the thing for your judge at at the federal building, or did they have it like in a nice place?
They had it in the federal courthouse, and then the judge had another thing at 7 at Tennis Club.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking for a nice catered event. That's what I'm basically getting at.
Yes,
we get some high end.
that one was catered.
Nice.
Some
The first one had cupcakes.
You know
and
there's
lunch.
apps. You know there's apps.
What?
Apps and desserts. Appetizers.
He's using a little Tom Haverford Parks and Rec callback there.
It was like substantive food at the 7 o'clock one. It was like
Nice.
dinner.
Nice.
Like
Catered.
crab cakes and sliders and stuff.
Oh.
No, sliders.
No,
Did
and
you
like,
have a crab cake? Did you do
I had like
a
4 crab cakes, man.
slider?
if you go to Ruby Tuesdays, you definitely can.
The buns were
I don't know
separate
if I'd
from
eat crab cake at Ruby Tuesday.
Well, they're known for their finest seafood.
Yeah.
And salad bar.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. We were coming back from Grand Prix Richmond. We stopped at Ruby Tuesday just outside of Richmond, and we were all starving because it was like it was like 2 o'clock. So we were out, and it was like me, George, Garrett, and Vince, and of course the first 3 of those pretty big guys. And so we got in. They brought some like cheese roll, basically like the Cheddar Bay biscuits, like you get at Red Lobster.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was 4 of them, and I said. He's like, do you want me to get... He asked if we wanted to get us some. And I was like, no, it's all right. He's like, well, they're complimentary. And I was like, okay, sure. Yeah. And then I said, you might want to go ahead and put an extra order of those in right now. Because we were hungry, and they were big guys.
They probably only give you like 4 or 5.
Yeah, and not only did they not do that, but we never saw another one for the rest of the meal. I also think it was funny that earlier we were talking about a nice catered dinner. He's like, yeah, they had they had substantial food, like, crab cakes or sliders.
Yeah.
it's like they had filet mignon and then ketchup packets. The kind of food you really want to eat.
They had pheasant, and then they had chicken nuggets.
This game, I don't understand what's going on here. It looks like Dylan is empty-handed. Brandon has every mana in the world. Somehow Dylan is only at 19 life, and somehow Brandon is at 12.
Brandon's just drawing the wrong cards.
He's just journaling with himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's either just drawing those lands and just drawing Rev of 1 shit.
Well, this should end things relatively quickly. Dylan is not empty-handed. He was just holding his cards close to the vest.
But now he's going to Bobblight it.
There is Dark Betrayal. In response, let's go ahead and fire up a Pack Rat token. Let's see if we can follow that up with another removal spell to kill the Pack Rat. There's a Thoughtseize. Revealing Obsidat, pretty good. But cannot kill the Pack Rat, so we're still going to be able to start making, like 3 Pack Rats a turn here?
Yeah.
Like, that's all you do, right? Especially if you can make 3 this turn, because then you get out of Bobblight range, which is important. Well, he also has Mutavault, so he can basically do whatever he wants whenever he wants. This is his attack for 7.
Oh yeah, Mutavaults are rats.
They're everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're rats along with them.
Ninja Turtles.
They are Ninja Turtle. Is Turtle the creature type? Ninja is.
They're pourings.
They're still pouring in magic.
Damn it.
Oh, yeah, there's a turtle, because they have that good one that has the Shroud Landfall.
Oh, horns?
Snapper.
The calcite snapper.
Yeah.
And this should be a lethal attack here. Make another rat. That makes with the Mutavaults, that makes them 4/4s. Serving for 12 here, and that should be enough. So we might go to the top 4 here. Calcite Snapper is a turtle.
Ooh. Love that little guy. He's my favorite Harold Turtle.
This is my
I can't
favorite.
even say it.
I would love if somebody tunes in right now and sees what's going on. Alright, so,
I thought about playing him in Legacy when I played Mono Blue Control.
Alright, Garrett and Jonathan are still playing, and like they're going to be here forever. Adam Vickers has already left, so I think we're just going to pack it in early today. So apologize for that, but just don't have any more in me, guys. So thanks for watching. We'll be back here next week. Come see us at the PTQ on Sunday and Star City States here in West Virginia on Saturday. Have a good week. Talk to you later.